Hello and welcome back to Shift Your Thinking Daily, where we transform our inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience for 10 minutes of our day now. We do it together. Connect, build, and share at lasuperagent, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you turn on the post notifications. That way you know when I upload a new episode. This is now available on IGTV. I know I used to share on some of the other platforms, but this is where I'm at right now. This is where I'm at with the Shift Your Thinking. It is available, by the way, for my radio podcast listeners on the Ready Set Real Estate platform. So again, type in my name, Lisa Puerto, LA Super Agent, Ready Set Real Estate. You will find us in your favorite apps, anywhere and everywhere. This is a bonus series that is happening on that platform. You can also tune in to any of the replay and check out the archive of all the other shows and playlists that are happening concurrently on my YouTube channel at LA Super Agent. So, welcome, lovies. Welcome. How are you? Is anyone else excited that I'm doing this every day? Are you excited just as much as I am? I am. I'm completely thrilled. I'm continuing I like the way this yellow book looks on my yellow shirt. That looks pretty cool. I am continuing the series from Shift Your Thinking with Dean Del Sesto's 200 Ways to Improve Our Life. And we are on the section, by the way, episode 91. Yo, I feel like I'm killing it. I've got like 109 days left. 109 days left. So I'm at episode 91. We're going to go hard consistently. This is about being consistent. Can you keep up with me? Episode 91, and I'm calling it Stretching the Truth. I'm in the section where it says, derivations of the truth will bring exasperation to the soul. The author says, liar, liar, life's on fire. I tell you, this author he's a rapper. He's like a rapper. The statement to lie or not to lie. Almost like Macbeth, right? Wasn't that to be or not to be? It's funny because when in my writing, I've done that too. Have you done that? You kind of take on a Shakespearean way. The author says, to lie or not to lie appears to take on different meaning when you say to exaggerate or not to exaggerate. The truth is they're one and the same, but exaggerating is a bit easier on our conscience, right? So if you stretch the truth just a little bit, you don't consider yourself lying. Let's keep on reading. So why do we feel the need to manipulate the truth from ever so slightly to the extreme? Why are you doing it? The answer is fear, he says. I wouldn't have thought about that. I wouldn't have thought that it's based on fear that people are stretching the truth. Let's continue. He says, we simply become afraid that the truth won't do its job. Know any adults, especially children? I think children do great at storytelling. I'm a mother of two. My youngest is 7, and I oftentimes find him doing that wonderful storytelling technique where I give him a look and I go, that means like, cut it out now. Like, no, cut it. Do we do the same with adults? Are we a little bit more patient with adults that are stretching the truth? Let's find out. He says, we do that in stretching the truth because he says we're afraid it will fall short in some way, and we might wind up a fool. So we resort to a lie. And when the lie spins into a web of confusion and breakdown, the need to pile lie on top of lie becomes apparent until the truth finds its way out. It's funny because once upon a time, I was in a relationship that I could only imagine how exasperating it was for my former partner to do the storytelling. And it's funny because he was notorious for it. What do they call it? Compulsive liars. And so it definitely would be offensive if I called him a liar. We're in a relationship. So I would always be like, gosh, he should be a writer or something, because his stories, he definitely knew how to stretch it and make it, be these extreme stories where he was really trying to draw sympathy out of you. It's like, dude, why are you doing that? I know you're lying. So And I played just as much part as he did in the storytelling because I didn't nip it in the bud. I just was like, oh, okay. Which reinforced the behavior, made him think that it was working, that him telling me the stories or selling me the stories without any consequence only reinforced that behavior because he felt like it was working. So I'm doing the self-reflection. You know, this is what Shift Your Thinking is about. How much, also on the other side, you know, as we talk about those who are exasperating the truth, what role do we have to play as being the listeners to it or of it? I'll continue. The author says, by then, the state of the relationship we've been lying to resembles a train wreck. Absolutely. That relationship was a complete train wreck. And cleaning up the mess requires some heavy lifting. And, you know, towards the last end, it definitely felt heavy. I just didn't want to lift anymore. I was done. And he says, it would be wise to have more fear of lying. Isn't it funny how we project into children not to lie? Stop lying. Don't tell lies. So he says, what if we actually had a fear of lying than of sharing things exactly the way they are? I think we wouldn't have a lot of things in existence right now if that were the case. You know, especially the people that are doing well with storytelling. I actually want to take up a class on storytelling, more so on technique and strategy, and just kind to draw out experiences and connect with my audience. So not of course, not so that I could lie to people. That's not going to work anyway, because my biggest motto, even in my business and in my personal life, both my professional and my personal life, have always been about being able to sleep at night, because I love to sleep. I mean, lately I've been sleeping a lot because I'm doing a lot of mental work, but my sleep is important. I want to sleep good, knowing that I did good. The author says, whether half-truths, partial truths, or little white lies, we can package our honesty, quote unquote, not so honestly. Consider at times that we can be just as artful in delivering strategic truths as we can be in delivering flat out deception. And again, consider they're one and the same. Drop in the comments strategic truths. That's what we want to deliver. They have more impact because the truth is the truth. There's nothing else that you need to dress that up with unless you're operating from a space where you're not confident and secure in who you are. And then that comes from another space and place where you're dressing it up to be heard, right? Not enough, you know, my colleague says, Hugh always says, you didn't get enough hugs. You didn't get the kind of cereal you wanted. People didn't tell you weren't good enough. You weren't good enough in that relationship as a child, as a parent, at work. And so you're dealing with these things where you feel like you have to exasperate or dress it up instead of just giving the raw, simple truth. I like raw, simple truth, no fluff. People who kind of get used to me, they know that I'm blunt and I'm unapologetic about that. In contrast, he says there's a great peace to be had in life simply by sharing things exactly the way they are, freeing our mind to think of more productive things, and not having to remember the myriad of slight exaggerations that will ultimately come back to bite us in an exaggerated fashion. So CTA today, go ahead and see if you can catch yourself where you're stretching the truth. Why? Because I think the statistic is about, there's 95% of the time people will actually tell a lie in the truth, 95% of the time. So why are we doing that? According to the author, we're doing it based on being afraid that what we have to share is not good enough. You are good enough. I am good enough. That's my time, y'all. I love you, love you, love you. Have a productive and powerful week. I'll see you tomorrow on Shift Your Thinking Daily.